Okay, I'm here. Guess what? Capybara butt. Okay, let's get this out of the way. All right, so I've done quite a bit of work on this guy. Everything's just pinned on, but starting to look like something. These are just crank anchor eyes that I had laying around, but they're pretty close to what's going to be on there. So I might make the pupils bigger. Anyway, I made these ears on Saturday. And they're just basically I dyed the same fabric. This is actually this same fabric, but I shot it with that floral paint that I used on the front of the nose here. And I had this really weird. I don't even. I got it at. I think I got it at Joann's or Michael's. Let me show it to you. This is very weird stuff. I'd never seen this before, and I didn't know what I was going to use it for, but I got it in white and brown. And it's this kind of foam that's textured. It's almost like furry, but it's similar to, like, if you look at the side, you kind of see how it's got a craft foam backing, and then like a furry texture in the front, which is also kind of like a shredded foam. But anyway, I thought it would be great for the inside of the ear, so that's what I did for the inside of the ear here. And I have to sew it on. I guess I'll sew it on. We'll see if it actually takes it. But that's what I'm going to do right now, because I'm going to put the ears on, and let me actually keep the eyes on too. I'm going to put the ears on, and I talked to the person I'm building this for, and she doesn't want arm rods, but she wants posable arms. So I'm going to try and figure out, I'm going to do it kind of similar to the way I did Max's legs, with the armature wire through the tubing to make the joints, and then I'll put a hand on the end of it. But I'm going to probably at least figure that out a little bit in this thing. So in my quest to try and, oh, my hair looks wonderful. In my quest to try and post every day at 5 o'clock, I just basically got out of the car after my trip to see my parents for Father's Day. And I got home about 15 minutes ago. So here we go. Let me put it. Look at that. Dead capybara. Okay. Hopefully I can figure out a way to. Let's at first see if I can actually use this as is. So I think I have some dark brown. No, that looks like blue to me. There we go. That's what I'll use. See, I can see brown. But you guys are going to be like, it's purple. All right. So when I went out of town for a day, and of course I didn't clean up anything before I left. So one thing I got to remember is, no matter how late I am, unless I'm about ready to catch a plane, I should actually clean my apartment so that it's not completely trashed when I get home. The fact that I was like 5 minutes late was largely due to the fact I had to air out this room. I would hate to have to glue these things on. Boy, what a mess that would be. But maybe I'll get lucky. Or I'll have to figure out how to do this, because it may be that this just doesn't work. But boy, it looks good. So I'm going to sandwich these things together. Try and keep the threads kind of closer to the bottom so they aren't quite as noticeable. I'm going through fabric and foam, so hopefully between the two of them they'll have enough resistance not to just perforate right off. Okay, let's see. And I think they need to be a little closer to the center here, so I'm going to do that on this. And I'm not going to show you a darn thing. And I want to try and open these ears up as much as I can so they have a little bit of dimension to them. And hopefully taking a day off actually made my finger heal enough that I don't have to wear a glove or a Band-Aid. I almost feel like I have to do a knot every other stitch. I think that's what I'll do. So I have to take my glasses off in order to get in close to enough to see what I'm doing. And so every 5 minutes I look up to see if somebody's written something. And then I have to put my glasses back on to even see the screen. Okay. I got one ear on. Oh, I got somebody on here. What did I say? Who is it? Hey, Dave Baker. Somebody's written. Yay! See, I knew I'd guilt somebody into it. How was your weekend, Dave? I don't mind it so much. Like I said, putting those seams on in the putting those darts in strategically helps me line them up, and I do that on just virtually every puppet I build. Is if there is a dart, that's where I put the ears, or I put the dart where the ears go. I tell you what, let me think. With parts I don't like. I don't like making neck tubes. So this last time I made myself make 10 of them, and I've gone through I think 4 of them at this point. And I know that coming up soon I'm gonna have to make 10 more, but at least it seems a little. It always seems like I'm in the creative mode when I'm building, and I have to make a neck tube, and everything comes to a screeching halt. And so, really, if it's just during the downtime, I make some necks. I should make some arm rods as well during this time. That at least will keep me, in the creative mode while I'm building versus having to change stuff out. Okay. So I was happy that people seem to be enjoying what this character's looking like. I think that now it's starting to really take shape as to what it's going to look like when it's finished. I'm just glad people think it's good. Okay, Dave Baker. I spent the day with my son. We went out to eat and watched A New Hope after dinner. Oh, that's fantastic. Yeah, I don't have any biological children, but I do have Tilly, and everybody treats us as if we are a father and daughter. So who am I to argue with that? Still can't get my parents to put her in the will, though. Dinner, Star Wars, and my son. A great combination. Yes, very much so. I hang out with my friend Eric and his sons quite a bit, and we just recently showed them Pee Wee's Big Adventure for the first time, and that was a lot of fun. I get to live vicariously through Eric. Those are the kids that are in that photo that I posted just the other day. Yeah. I mean, she even cosplays as Orlando Calrissian, so how can I really? I can't argue with that idea. So actually, I got to say, this way of doing the ears was pretty successful. I'm pretty happy with the way that it's turning out, at least so far. There's no structure in them. They're just a couple. It's a piece of craft foam with the fur on one side and a regular piece of fur dyed to match what I was going for. And they seem to stand up. And come on, come on. I maybe I shouldn't speak too soon. I'm having problems getting this last stitch. Um, they seem to be straight. They seem to be standing up, which is great. They should be flexible enough that they don't fall, they don't break off just by being. That was what happened with the bear. They are actually when I built that bear, they had foam inside, and every time it was put in the box or whatever, the ears would break off. So they were just fabric in the final one. They look great. So I'm hoping they'll have something similar go on with this one. I'm going to show you something I just noticed with these ears that I may have to do. So I think they look pretty good. However, if you look way down in the ear, you see how they're still the lighter color. I think I'm going to take that spray can and I'm going to shoot it right down tonight. I'm going to shoot it right down in those little ears. I'm going to mask this off and just shoot it so that the inside of the ear will be the same color as the inside of or the very inside of the ear. Okay, Dave Baker, great movie. I saw the photo. It's nice to be able to visit with kids when you don't have any. Plus, you get to go home when you're done visiting. All the glory without the effort of raising a kid. Yeah. Well, I mean, I babysit those kids a lot, so it's fun that they indulge me enough to do that. And that was I built that C-3PO costume for the younger one, which was fun too. I'm Uncle Steve. All right, so that's where we're at right now. I'm pretty happy with that, actually. All right, now I get to figure out what I'm going to do for the arms. I think that I'm out of armature wire, but let's see. Oh, that's what happened to this. That's good to know. Okay, so that's all the armature wire I have. I do have some. I have some of this that's already kind of formed into something, but I don't know if I can use that. Oh, brackets. That'll be helpful. That's just what I use. Boy, I'm running out of supplies here. Okay, I'm gonna use this for the bulk of it. I don't know. This would be. This would have been more. This would be easier, but I'm gonna choose the other stuff. All right, so this is just regular galvanized wire. I think it's. I think it's 18 gauge, 14 gauge maybe. This is 25. You can see how much thinner that is. So this is, I think this is 14 gauge, and I think this is 20. This is 18 gauge. So yeah, I think this is 14. 12 is what's on your aluminum fence, your your chain link fence. This is thinner than that. I think I'm going to double this up like I would anything else. So in looking at this picture, I think what I'm going to do is I have some brown fleece that's already dyed. I think it's the stuff I have left over from Donald Faison, which is kind of a purpley brown. And I think I'm going to make the feet out of that. But regardless, I'm going to make the upper arm the fur and the upper leg out of fur. So it's just going to be the lower half. It's going to be that long. So I usually make the arms about 9 inches long. So I'm going to make this 20. I'm going to make a 20-inch piece of galvanized wire. Maybe I'll do a little bit bigger than that. Maybe I'll do 22. Oh, maybe I'll get a. I'll do 22. Put this in half. Oh, that looks short. I think I better throw. I'm glad I didn't do two of them. I think I'm going to change it to 30 inches of wire. I'll use this for something else, so I'm not too worried about the waist. But I think the arms would be way too short otherwise. Because I'm going to double this up to give it a little bit more strength. And I can always cut off whatever I don't use. This stuff is pretty cheap too. This is, I think it was like $8 for, I don't know how many yards of it. There's 30. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a loop at one end, and I'm going to put a loop at one end of this, and then I'm going to put it in the drill, and I'm going to weave it all together so that there's about that much on the ends that is still straight. And I may have to unweave that, but the loop will then get just a regular hand put on it, and then I'll cover the whole thing in foam. So that's, and I'm going to thread it through the pipe like I do with the shoelaces so that you get defined arms on there as well. So that's because I don't like it when arms get too crazy. I might just do the bottom half with the tubing, but I think this is, as of right now, I'm going to do both halves. The upper and the lower arm. Okay, so let me make another. I'm really I have a lot of confidence in this. I'm making two of them. The problem sometimes when you get ahead of yourself is that you make two things that you can't use as opposed to just one. But the bad thing is if you do two things and you don't really know what you're doing, you may never be able to make a second one that matches. So 6 of one, half dozen of the other. Well, I'm glad I got home in time to actually do this today because I haven't really publicized it, but I really do want to start posting every day at 5 o'clock Pacific time. And the only day I won't be able to do that this week is Wednesday. And it might be a little late on Thursday, but I should be able to do it just about every day. So that's good. All right. So let's find the center. Should be 15. Hmm. And I don't want to do a hard fold right there, and they don't have to be exact, but I do want to. I want to have a palm that I can zip tie to. So I'm gonna. I wonder if I should do. Hmm. I wonder if I should do a square like I do usually. Yeah. I guess not. All right. So I just started it a little bit, and then I'm gonna chuck it into the drill. And I should probably clamp it down, but okay, I want them to be even, so I'm going to chop a little bit off. Let's stick that in there. I need a third hand here. There we go. So I'm just going to clamp onto this end here. There we go. It's funny, but this actually warmed up from doing that. I mean, I guess it makes sense, but all right. So that's the first one. I'll do the same thing on this one. I want them to be basically the same size, so let me see if I can do that. Yeah, okay. Chuck this back in here. I'm going to chop off the very end of it to make it the same size. So I've lost about a half an inch on that overall, but okay. Oh, let's put it in that one. All right, let's see if I can show you what I'm doing here. Oh boy, I think it was turning the wrong way. Oh well, I can fix that. For the most part, it's okay. This one might be useless, which is okay. I can make a new one. might have been able to salvage that. It might be okay. These don't have to be perfect. They just have to be more or less the same. The same type of bad. How about that? Okay. Same level of rottenness. Okay. I feel like I'm making the world's largest Easter eggs. Like, you remember those little things that you used to get in the Pause Easter egg kits? You could hold the wire things. Tell you what, the hardest part of this is there is no way to hold this once you've wound this wire around. Okay, here we go. Okay. So now I got two arms that are basically the same. Don't look too close at them. Doesn't really matter. They're both about the same length, which is great. Get the tubing. This is the tubing that I use. I think what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna do about 5 inches for the first one, and we'll see how that looks. And this is that, these are for holding up balloons in your yard without helium. That looks a little short. Yeah, 5's good. And I've never used them for that, but I came across them. They looked about the right, and I like that I can cut them with scissors. So we'll thread this down. All right, there's one arm. And she just wants to be able to pose them, so that should be fine. I'm gonna put a little bit of gaff tape on. I might actually put a little bit of glue to keep them in place. I don't know. I'm gonna put a little gaff tape on there right now. And one arm. Isn't that lovely? Okay, here we go. Okay. So that's the in part of that. Let me get my other thing. And actually, how many fingers should I put on it? I'm thinking 3. They say that they're slightly webbed. So if it's a fingers like that, I think that'll look pretty good. That's what I'll do. Just like with everything, I don't really know what I'm doing here. That'll work. Okay, this is 20 gauge. I think that's too small. So I will use. You can see how fast my workspace gets destroyed. Okay. And then, what was I doing? That's gonna make this. And all I really need to do for this is I need to just make these 3 fingers and then the loop. So I don't need to use the thumb. It's kind of like a dog's paw. And I don't remember, I think about 20 inches to do this. Yeah, exactly. It says the fewer fingers necessary, the better. I'm not going to hand sew these hands, so to speak. I'm going to machine sew them, but yeah, the less I have to do, the better. So I'm just winding this around this jig, kind of looping it around. Okay, chop that off. Okay, first of all, I'm going to twist these guys together. Yeah, sorry, I'm not showing you anything. I've decided I'm not going to show you guys anything I'm doing. Should I try the same technique here? Should I try this? I saw the Swazzle guys doing this. Maybe I can do it. So I'm going to hold on to this with the needle nose pliers, and then I'm going to spin it very slowly. Okay, now I'm going to do this one. Oh, let me show you what I'm doing here. Okay, so now let me do this one first. Stick that in there. Again, this would be a lot easier if I had a third arm. Okay. So I'm just going to hold that tight. I'm going to hold that tight. You don't want to do it tight. You don't want to tighten it too much, otherwise you're going to have a problem with the it breaking. But you do want to twist it. So. What happened to it? Okay, I'm pretty impressed with this, actually. If you've seen any of my other builds, I always struggle with this. All right. Pull that on the inside there. And hack that off. All right. So that's one hand right there. What I'm going to do, I should have made that. Remember how I said, should I make this into a square? Yes, I should have made that into a square. Okay, so what I'm going to do is take out my zip ties. Howdy out there. Have you gotten the ears yet? Yes, the ears are on. I finished. I got the ears on right there. I'm just going to paint right down the center there, but other than that, the ears are done. Eye placement is still kind of iffy, but it's I had these old crankmaker eyes, which I think are going to work great. I'm going to change the pupils, I think, but other than that, I'm making the hands now. Okay, so where's my zip ties? Those ears were so simple. I cannot believe how easy they were to do. And again, it was just kind of solving the problem as I did it. But yeah, it's it was just basically me making two shapes. What did I do with it? This is the pattern I used right here for the ear, and then I just curled it around like so. And there's a left side that's a little notched, and then the right side that's a little notched. It goes around the other way. So that was a happy surprise. All right, so that was a pretty easy armature for the arms, because she doesn't want them to be. Where is it? She doesn't want them to be articulate. One doesn't want them to be on rods. So, but with this setup now, she can, she can pose them in a certain way so that they'll be on there. The way it is, like so. I'll probably make the forearm a little bit shorter, and it'll be on a doll joint. This just rolls around and then is bound in there, and then covered with foam. There's one arm. I'll make the other one. Uh-oh. This is just me not wanting to actually go and get my hammer. Yes, this is a BJ. I got this idea from BJ. This is the way he does it, and I have a few of these. I'm not even sure which one this is for, but you can see how many times I've redone the holes and whatnot. I think this might be. This one might be what I use for Strange Pork and Piggy. I think that's what this one is. But I think this is one of the older ones. This is that. Oh, here's the Jalea one, which has 5 fingers, and then I have a whole bunch of others on another sheet of board. But I really should be a little bit more precious with these, because there's nothing worse than coming across a pattern and then having to make a new arm, remake a puppet and try and figure out how you did the arm before the arm mature. Oh, I'll show you a cool tool that I just recently discovered from watching somebody's YouTube video. Let me see if I can actually get it on camera here. Okay, let me get this resituated here just a second. I swear I'm coming back. All right. Okay, so this is my main camera here. 1 second. I had never seen one of these before. Okay, here's a piece of. Okay, this is welding rod, and you know how hard this is to bend. So all you do is you put this in here like so, and now you can bend it like that. Or if you need a weird angle, you can put it in here like this, and you can do it. Let's see, where is it? There you go. Or if you need a curve, there's a way to do it. See, you do it like this. You do it like that. Oh, this has saved me so much time, and it was like $15. I'll put a link in this thing if you guys are interested. Second, let me get my camera set up so that you can actually see me when I go back to it. It's Puppet Troop, PUPPETTROOP.com. TC was asking me what my website was. Again, I gotta get on that tonight. I will at least put up one pattern. I promise. I have the Ben Franklin head all ready to go. I just have to write some instructions. So once I do that, it'll be up and running. I don't remember what the name of that tool was, but that I just showed, but I will get it for you today. So all I'm doing is, come on. See how good that works? Boy, I cannot get a break on this thing. Oh, I'll take a look at it. What's it about? Boy, I did a bang up job on that. This one may be one of the hands that ends up going in the garbage. Let me see. This thing has gotten really bad. Okay, let's see. Right. That might be salvageable. Okay. It's a wire bending set of pliers that takes to a whole new level. I used it on the block, used to use that block, but I have found that these pliers are much easier to use than the block. Oh, that's good to know. Well, I will definitely check that out. I tell you what, though, that I've only had that block for a little while, but it's for the most part, I only make 1-inch squares out of for the arm rods, and that's what I use it for. But boy, it changed my life on that. Boy, and this mangled up hand is just looking better and better. See if I can salvage it. There's 3 fingers, sort of. Thank you for the tip, Dave. I can't wait to look at it. I watch so many of these videos trying to, pick up little tricks and stuff for building. And a lot of times they aren't even puppet videos. They're just like prop building or cosplay videos. And I'm amazed by some of the stuff people have figured out that, people in the industry don't know or haven't shared with me. Maybe they know that I got loose lips, so they don't show me stuff. Do you have a cup mount hook that you can put into a drill chuck? What's that? This drill doesn't even have a chuck. So like I don't know. Oh, are those the ones that I don't know what I have. Never mind. It's funny. I have some very specialized tools, and I have some very like rudimentary tools. Like, thankfully, I have a bandsaw, but yeah, and I have a scroll saw, though I don't know how to use it, so I don't ever, get it out. One of my parents' neighbors moved away, and they left their scroll saw behind, so my parents grabbed it, cleaned it up, and got some blades for it. But it's a little daunting. The thing that has threads on one side and a hook on the other for mounting on a wall. You can put a coffee cup on the hook. Oh, yeah, I know what those are. And I have some, I think. What do? Do you put the hook in the wall and then put the what do you call it? Put the wire in the chuck and then just spin it, or vice versa? Or do you just put it on the end of the drill and then roll it around? I've seen it done that way. I don't do this very often. This is only the second time I've really done this, so. I saw the Swazzles guys do it the other day, and I thought, oh, I should do that again. It's a good way to do it. I see. Yeah, I that is a good way to do it. Probably a better way than I'm doing it. I think I use a lot more zip ties than most puppeteers making these things. On this old Ralph that I have that I made in 2001, there's zip ties in the elbows for that. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I didn't remember that I used to make elbows that way. Okay, so I got my two hands. My little T-Rex arms. But yeah. Okay, so next thing I got to do is cover them. Are they basically the same? They're basically the same, which is good. I need to make the foam fingers and glue those on, and then the arms, which is gonna be super easy. I have a pattern for that. Glue those on, and then cover them, and then the arms will be done, which should be great. And I can install them on, and I got to do something similar for the legs. So maybe I'll regroup on the legs. What time is it now? Have I done it? Okay, so I've been on a little bit over an hour. I like the zip tie method better than the BJ does. Sewing everything up with thread is so much work. Oh, tell me about it. Yeah, that's kind of where I was doing that for a long time. And sometimes I would wrap wire all the way around it, and which was even worse than using thread. But I think I was running out of time. I've actually made arm rods where I use a zip tie as well, and that seems to work pretty well too. In fact, I think on the Terry puppet that I'm selling, I think I use zip ties on that arm rod. But those, like I said, I had these little. My parents would give them to me for Christmas every year because they would fill up the stockings with all the stuff they could find at the 99-cent store, and these things were in there every year. I never had a use for them, and they are the perfect size for doing these arms. And I can't tell you how many of these things I've actually used now that I just was stockpiling them every year. I'm glad I found this wire. All right, guys. I'm gonna watch your video, and then I'll put both. I'll put both the links in my description. So all of you out there wanting to do better wire work can get one of those handy dandy machines. So I will see you guys tomorrow about this time, about 5 o'clock. And thanks for tuning in. Bye.